name is Joan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I would like to do today cooking oxtail in the oven. But first, I would like to show you step by step what I do first, as we go along the way. Now, as you can see, I have my oxtail here. It's soaking in some lime water. It's cleaned already from the butcher, but what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to clean it over for myself to make sure no fats and all that stuff is on. Here, I'm about to throw the water off because it's already in lime water, soaking, because I like my meat to soak well in the lime water, to get rid of all that, smell, that raw smell. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to start cleaning up. And guys, I found out a new tip. Before you even clean it, make sure you soak it in lime water. Because I noticed that when you do it this way, it will show if any fat, unnecessary fat, and you'll see where it is to locate the fat. So now I'm gonna clean these fats off, so as to get rid of all the fat, because you don't want no fat. You need a good fat. You don't need this, you need fat, yes, but not this fat. And make sure your knife is sharp, guys, to get these fats off, because you don't want to be cooking with all this fat and this oil. I thought about this, I was introduced. I tell a lot of people that, asking me to do this demonstration to show how you cook the oxtail in the oven. It's basically the same way, just like when it's on the stove, but the only difference is that it's in the oven. And to be honest, those will, I know a lot of people love oxtail, so I'm trying to do it a healthier way, so you will enjoy it. And believe me, you will enjoy it. It's gonna taste just the same as if it was on the stove top. You're not even gonna know the difference. Before I season it, it's already soaked in lime for almost 5 hours. I have it soaked in the lime. Guys, you don't have to soak it that long, 2 hours or so, depends. What's best for you, but I like to soak it long. That's for me, that's just me. Because I don't like to smell, when you smell any raw smell. As for me, that's my preference. I like to soak my meat for a long in the lime water. I really do, because I told you before, I don't like it smells. Well, guys, I just finished cleaning up my oxtail. As I told you before, I had it soaked for 5 hours in the water before. So I'm gonna wash it again. Now I'm cutting some limes again. I'm gonna wash it thoroughly in the lime water again before I start to season. Okay, because I'm about to season right now. And remember, guys, always soak your oxtail or whatever meat that you're doing. Always soak it in lime water. However long you choose to, that's up to you. Alright? But the longer, that's me, the better. See? The lime water? Yes, guys. Now I take the lime out. And I'm just going to wash it one more time. That's it. See, I'm draining the water. Make sure you drain all the water off before you start seasoning. Okay, see, I'm draining the water. Make sure all the water is drained. Okay, good. See, guys? Wow, beautiful. We're about to season the oxtail right now. Yes, okay, guys. Back here, I'm here now to season my oxtail. I have my pimento, my allspice seasoned pimento, which is very good. These are the seasoning that I use. I have this complete seasoning. I have my cayenne pepper, and I have here my ginger, bottled ginger. I have here black pepper, I have here Bragg's. This is a nutritional seasoning that we use. And also I have Bell's seasoning. It's natural, all natural. And this one is not really natural. It has a little, it's a Grace Oxtail seasoning. I don't really use much of this because it's really salty, so I just use a little of this. And guys, here are my natural season that I will use. I have my onion here. I have my scallion. I have my thyme. I have my ginger, the root. I like to put a little ginger in it too. I have my garlic, as you can see, and just one tomato. I don't really use a lot of tomato when I'm cooking my oxtail. And I have here too carrots. I put carrots in my oxtail also. Big fat carrots, right, as you guys see. Okay? Okay guys, what I do, before I put my scallion and my onion, I always put my bottle season first. Whichever way you choose to do it, you could. You know, this is my pimento seed. Right, I'm washing it off first before I put it. This is the one that I'm using now. Now I'm gonna put a little cayenne pepper. You know, this is good for your circulation, guys. Not too much. Now here's my ginger, guys. I'm gonna put a little ginger on it too, you know, for taste, you know. Okay, and I'm gonna put a little, my complete seasoning. This consists of everything: garlic, onion, cayenne pepper, ginger, everything consists of. So I'm gonna put here some on the meat. Okay, not too much, but just the right amount. Okay guys, here's my Bell season. This is all natural. This is herbs and spice together. This is a very good season to buy, guys. Okay, it's all natural. No salt, it's not salty, but it gives it the meat a nice flavor. Okay, and this is my next one, my Bragg's. This is very good, guys. Healthy. You can put this up in the supermarket or the health food store. Okay. And now this one is a little oxtail season. It's a Grace brand. I use this not too much because it's a little bit salty. So you gotta watch your salt intake also, you know. All right. And then guys, the last one is my black pepper. Okay. Now you put a little black pepper. Not too much, and you're good to go. Okay guys, I'm just gonna cut up my garlic, small pieces, you know, small pieces of garlic. You don't have to be small. You could even just do like this, use the knife and like beat it. So you don't necessarily have to cut it. You could just use a knife or something clean and beat it. The same thing with the ginger. You could just beat the ginger or cut it up if you want. It's optional, whichever way you choose to do it. Now, put your thing in. And now, I'm gonna put in my carrots. I have my seasoning already cut up, my thyme, my scallion, my tomato, and my onion. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pour everything on the meat, everything in this container on the meat. Okay guys, and now I'm getting ready to rub the seasoning. So this way when you do this, everything is, you know, you rub the seasoning right into the meat, so this way all the meat, you know, have the seasoning. You can't just put the seasoning on and don't rub it up. So guys, I rub up the season properly, you know, from side to side, you know guys, so that all the meat could get, you know, the seasoning properly in it. So after this, when I rub all my seasoning in, guys, I'm gonna let it marinate for, say, as long as possible.
Tomorrow for sure.
Now today, we had this marinade for a whole day in the refrigerator so that the seasoning will be properly soaked in it, and so that when it is cooked, you'll get a nice taste, nice flavor. So now, as I'm about to take this out to put in the oven, what I'm going to do first is wash my hands. Before I take the meat out, I make sure I put my gloves on, because I'm going to touch the meat now. At this point, I'm going to take the seasoning, all the seasoning that I put on the meat, okay? So what I'm going to do right now, you could put it in the cover, it doesn't matter, because you're going to put it in the oven anyway. You could get a container, whichever way you choose to, but I'm actually putting it in the cover. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get all the season off, because what I'm going to actually do is put this in the oven, and it's going to brown. And at the same time, while it's browning, getting color, it's cooking at the same time. So remember, there's no sauce, no soy sauce. It's just all natural seasoning. I'm almost there, almost finished, guys. Almost finished. You know, if you don't want to do it like this, you could get a container, a different container. I just don't want to mess up something else, so I choose to do it this way. Anyway, it's fine, whichever way you choose to, because it's still going in the oven. Okay, take those season off, and rest it right here. Okay guys, as you can see, now we're about to put this oxtail in the oven, and what I use olive oil, and this is olive oil I use. You see, it says for frying and baking, because there are different types of oil. The one for when you're making your salad, but this one is definitely for frying and baking. So I use this one. It's very good, extra light. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open my olive oil. I'm gonna pour in my olive oil, not too much, just enough to cover the pan. So this way the oxtail doesn't get burnt. Okay. Now, what I do after that, I add a little bit of butter. I add a little butter in it. It's not too much, believe me, because when it's brown, I'm gonna throw off all the excessive oil. You're gonna see. Okay. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put my oxtail in the pan. Okay, so this is how I do it. I put it in here. And at this point, my oven is on. It's on 500 degrees. Okay. And now, I'm just gonna put this in the oven. Now, after this, you're not gonna leave it like that. You're gonna give it a little time, you know, to start brown and cook. Then occasionally, you're gonna take a little peek in to see what is going on, because you're not gonna let it burn. Okay, so we're just gonna take a peek to see how it's doing. You know, so I'm just gonna pull it out a little for you guys to see. See, it's browning. It's actually getting the color just as if it was on the stove top. Now, because you don't want it to brown too much and don't cook, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add a little tip of water, just a little tip, just a little tip. So this way it won't stick in the pan or burn. Yes, it's not cooked yet. As you can see, it's just starting browning. So I'm gonna put it back in the oven and leave it there again. You gotta do this so you know, not saying about every 30 minutes I come and I check it, just to make sure it's not burning and you know it's not too dry. So when you know it's burning, it's browning, you could say, as I showed before, it's browning. Look how beautiful it looks. And then I add a little water. So this way it's brown and it's cooking at the same time. Alright? Okay guys, I'm going to check it out. Wow, you see it's so brown. Let me just take it out and show you guys a little what it looks like in the pot. See? It's brown, getting color, and it's cooking at the same time. So that's why this way I said when it's browning in the oven, you constantly add water to it so that it will not be just brown and burned, but it will also cooked, ready to be seasoned. Okay guys, so let me just test it. I want to test to see if it's cooked. You know, before I throw off this oil and add my seasoning. Okay, could stay for another, let me see. Yeah, it needs to cook a little bit more. As you see, I just had water to it. Let me add some more. You know, so this way it will be cooking just like when it's on the stove. You had your water, not too much. You know, just a half cup of this water at a time. You know, so every 15 minutes or so, you just check it, make sure it's not burning. Okay, so you see, as you see, it's cooking nicely. It's browning, getting its color. At the same time, it's being cooked. Okay, so I'm gonna close that oven. Let it stay for a while. For about another 20 minutes or so, and come and check on it again. This way, maybe it will be ready to season. So now, I want to check to see if it's tender enough to be seasoned. Yes, as you can see, wow. The fork is going right through it. Yeah, it's cooked, tender, brown, no brown sauce, just only natural seasoning. So, what I'm gonna do for you guys, because you know I don't like a lot of oil, I'm gonna pour out. I'm gonna add my seasoning. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run this on water and pour out all this excess oil in the sink. So this way, it doesn't have a lot of oil in it. Okay, we need a little bit, but not much. Good. Still could take up a little more. Good. Good, guys. Now you see this? Now, look how it looks. Brown, no, naturally brown. So what I'm gonna do here, as the water is running, I'm gonna add my seasoning right now. My seasoning, guys. It's just like on the oven, just like on the stove top. You know, periodically you open the oven, check to see if it's browning. If it's browning, you know, you don't want it to burn, so you make sure you keep constantly, maybe every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes I would say. You know, you check it, make sure it's browning and not burning. You know, so you could add a little water to it. So I am just adding my seasoning right now. A little seasoning, and now I'm putting a little water, not too much, you know, not too much, because it's already cooked. So I'm just adding my water, not putting no butter, none of those stuff. I already did that in the beginning when I started cooking it, browning it. So what I'm gonna do, just add this water. Say about, how many cups of water? Maybe, depends on the size, the amount of oxtail you're cooking. So I'm just adding just enough water, you know, so the season could really cook down in it, as you could see. Natural brown, don't have no browning, no brown sauce. Wow, beautiful. Then I'm gonna cover it this time now. Notice when I was browning, I didn't cover. But now everything is gonna simmer. So I'm putting back the seasoning in. And now guys, there's something that I want to share with you. As you can see, I just added seasoning. And I'm gonna add some butter beans. In the next 5 minutes, I'm gonna put my butter beans in. And if you notice, I use Finest butter beans. And my reason for using this, you could use any butter beans of your choice, but I chose Finest because one, it has low sodium. It's 182 grams of sodium. So, you know, I checked the label. So I see this one has the lowest sodium. And it tastes good. It's a very good butter bean. So this is the one I chose to use. So you could use this one if you like to. It's up to you. Whichever one is your preference, you could use. But I choose this one. Now we're gonna check. I'm gonna wait 5 minutes. So I'm gonna put my butter bean in. By the way, I use 2 cans of butter beans. The same one I just showed you before. So now I'm gonna add my butter bean. 2 cans of butter bean. Wow, this look good, guys. 2 cans of butter bean. Okay. Alright. So now I'm gonna cover and let it simmer, let it finish cooked. Then it's ready to go. That was it, guys. Easy. No grease on the stove. No frying up. You know, no frying up on the stove top. And you guys see all the stuff that I use? It's very easy. Now I'm gonna cover and leave to simmer. Guys, this is the finished product. We're just gonna show you when it is done, how it looks. Show it to you. Now this is it, guys. This is done, and then we're about to share it out so you guys can see. This is the finished product. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and comment. Thank you.